So this session, we are going to discuss normalization concept. Okay. So when we are working with the reports, we might need to work different kind of select queries, and we need to know what is the use of those select queries. Now, can we use these select queries for particular requirement? Okay. So as of now, we discuss only single select query to read data from student table, but we have different types of select queries where we can perform database operations to read the data. Okay. Here you can see the first one, select single. Okay, so select single is used to read the single entry from database tables. Suppose you have the requirement where you're supposed to read always single entry from master tables. Always select single. Mostly we prefer for master tables, because in master tables, when we put some condition, we'll get always single entry only. If there is a multiple entries, then we need internal table and all. If there is a select single, only work area we are using here. That is one more thing. And for select single, we are using whenever there is a requirement to read the single entry. And we have to know whenever we use select single, we must pass primary key fields in the where condition. So here MATNR is the primary key. Okay, so that is a preferable. Okay, non-primary key also it will work, but we should follow ABAP standards. Okay, I'll write some report for this. Select single example. Program, click on save the package, save the transfer. Okay, currently this is the program, and we're supposed to read data from material table. Okay, so I'm just creating selections for parameters p underscore MATNR. MATNR is a material number, material field, and type Mara MATNR. That is a selection screen parameter. And start of selection is an event where we are using before actual business logic, which is reading the data from database. Okay, so select single start from Mara is a master table of material into work area Mara, where MATNR equals to p underscore MATNR. Okay. And display the data. We're just writing basic programs, and when you are working with complex applications, then we need to follow this kind of access. We also write the initial basic programs as integer, character, and all. Those are all not actual programs. Just to understand the code, we write some dependent logic. So this is all dependent logic. This is not the actual scenarios which we are using real time. Selection screen and display the code, display the data here. All right. Work area Mara, MATNR, work area Mara, MTRT, work area Mara, MEINS, work area Mara, METKL. Example, I'm just displaying 4 fields. Okay. So work area need to declare here in the declaration part. Okay. Here, if you see here, declaration and then selection screen. So we are trying to read always single material. The selection screen will generate per single input as a parameter, and we can enter some material, and that material we are passing into the MATNR. So in the Mara table, what are the primary keys? Here, mandate client is a primary key, matter is a primary key. So client should not use in the select queries. Okay, if you are using, we should use additional keywords. Okay, client will not use mandate matner we are using. So this is a primary key. If you are using select single means it is exact entry. Okay, you can see a select single star from Mara table. We're pushing into work area. Why we need only work area here? Because we are reading always exact entry. Exact entry, it will be always single entry. For single entry, work area is enough. We don't need internal table. So we are not using into table, into work area. Okay. Where MATNR equals to P underscore MATNR. From where this P underscore MATNR is coming, this is from selection screen. Whatever is entered by the user, that value will come, and then that value we are pushing into select. Okay. Okay. If work area Mara is not initial, display otherwise. Material data is not. If I execute, I'll select material from F4 option, which is using mat01 mat1 such help. Okay, if I can display this material 1157, it's displaying 1, 2, 3, 4 fields. Okay, is this understood? We are talking about only this one. This remaining is dependent code. So whenever we select single, we should prefer always primary key fields. Condition with primary key. Okay.
Kishore, here space is more, right? That is acceptable. Like
Which space?
In start of selection. You see here from to Mara.
Yes, that is fine. This you can write in this way also. Because you can write in single line also, but if you see some systems, it is restricted only to write less than this column. Okay. More than this is not preferred to write the logic here.
Okay.
Where in
No,
this
no. Whenever previously maybe I experienced. If I give some more than one space, I get some error. Like
it might be mid of the value, mid of the variable, or mid of the keyword. We should not give the space. Okay. So because compared to other technologies, SAP is more user friendly. Okay, every user we can understand easily. Last time also when we put character 2,62,143, if we put more than that, we every error can be easily understand here. It is easily throwing that what are the exact message is there. Only we need to relate it to the particular line number. If you are not understanding few of the errors, it will come based on the practice.
okay.
This is select single. Suppose we don't know that primary key values and we wanted to read one record, it is like appropriate record, then we need to go with the next option is select up to rows. So these options we don't have. We can copy directly, or we can also select all. Save in the package and transport. I'm just copying the same program, only the difference I'll show. Okay, so in this program, instead of matner, I'm using empty at material type. Here, We'll type here is a different field in the mana table, which is a material type, raw material or finished products we can select. Now, how many entries will get? MTRT is a primary key or non-primary key? You go to the table, MTRT. This is a value. Is this primary key or non-primary key?
It's not a primary key.
So not a primary key means, example, in a student table, student from Bangalore location, there could be a chance 2000 students from Bangalore location, right? Or at least 3 students from Bangalore location. If you use that in the condition, is it possible to get the single entry? Here select single we are not using. We are using into work area only up to 1 row. Okay. And only the thing is we need to use here. We started with select and we need to close with end select. Select and end select. You can see block is yes.
Sir, what is the use of pretty printer, sir? Why are you using pretty printer?
For this one, just to beautify the code.
Okay.
Yeah, just to beautify the code, and alignment will be automatically done using that settings. So let me show you that before, since you are asking. So pretty printer need to set it only once. When you got the access in the system level, you can go to utilities, settings. You can see here we have a pretty printer option. Here you can need to configure indent uppercase, keyword uppercase. It is your choice. Everything should be in uppercase, everything should be in the lowercase, or only keyword should be uppercase, only keyword should be lowercase. You can set it. Most of the developers follow 99% this option, keywords uppercase. You can see only blue colors in the caps letters, black letters in the small letters here.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so that is, so see where this select is started. Select is started. How many columns? 1, 2. After second column, select is started, and closing also should be done after 2 columns. Suppose if I write end select here, this is not the proper indentation. If you are aware of C language, or it might be different language also, we follow that. You see, once I click on pretty printer, automatically send end select, change the position it is attached here in this line. Okay, suppose if
Okay,
condition is
sir.
started,
Okay.
if else and if it is in the same column. If I write one more if inside this, that will go into the alignment automatically. You can see start of selection is started here. As per indent, that should be in the first column only always, because that is a main event. And inside it will give after 2 columns. Okay. The pretty printer means just to beautify the code, you can say. So here we mention up to 1 row. Up to 1 row means it will be fetch only 1 row. If you execute now, we can take any type of material type here. We have 88 material types. Okay, I just select here finish report. Okay, FERT. If you execute, we got 1 entry only, but actually this condition satisfied for number of entries. If I go SC16 or SC11, Mara table. So to go to the contents, guys, we have option here, contents. Click on that. Material type, we have this FERT. Remove this 200. Now how many entries we have? 4,370 entries. Right. Last time we gave the material 1157 and we got a single entry in the previous program I am talking. So that is exact entry. Now if you pass FERT, we have 4,370 entries here. But it is displaying 1 entry only. See, for all these entries here, material type is FERT. That is the only condition we pass in the select query. Here. But still it is displaying one entry because of up to 1 rows. So if you don't know that how many entries you have in your table and you wanted to read at least few of satisfied entries for the particular condition, then you can use up to rows with that particular condition. If I put here 10 also will be displayed. But still, since we are using work area, it will display only one entry only. One entry only. If you want to display those all 10 entries, then we have to write this display logic within this select and select. See, I'll just click on pretty printer. It will do the formatting because of these comments. Now it will do the formatting. See this, it is doing. Save, check, activate. Because of work area, we are writing it within this loop only. Work area, we have data. It will display next time again. End select will act as a loop. Again, second record it will display. Now we can see all 10 entries we can display. I'm just using breaking the line. Finished product. We can see the 10 entries. So starting from 88 to 1304. But how many? I can see this is 88, 10 entries, 1304. But still we have number of entries. Since we mentioned up to 10 rows, it is displaying only 10 rows on. But we have number of satisfied entries. So we'll see the differences here. Select single and select up to rows. Okay, where we supposed to use. So to read exact record from database table, then we should go with the select single. If you want to read appropriate records using the condition, we don't know how many entries are there in database, but we need to read some appropriate records, 2 entries or 1 entry or 3 or 4 based on the logic. That time we'll use up to rows. So we need to provide all key fields in the query condition, because exact record means what are the possible conditions we can pass, we're supposed to pass in the select query. That how can we pass? Based on the primary keys only. So we need to provide all primary keys. We may need to provide all key fields. So it depends whether we can provide key fields or we can also use non-key fields. So this statement should be used only if all key fields are available. If we don't have primary keys and if you want to use non-primary key, then we should not go with this select single. We should go with select up to rows only. So this statement should be used only if you have some key fields or no key fields. That time we can use up to rows. Okay. So it depends on the requirement. Sometimes we might need to filter the data with non-primary key fields from the database. That time we should use up to rows and we should not use select single. Will not get proper data. Okay. So we'll go to the next one. Select with the joins. So what is the meaning of joins, guys, normally?
Something joining the statement or code.
Yes. So joining means combining two things into single. It can be joining of buildings, joining of books, joining of the chain. It can be anything, right? So in SAP database wise, we are talking about select queries. Select queries basically from database wise. So select queries basically we are using to read the data. So using joins, we can read the data from multiple tables at a time. So this statement is used to read the data simultaneously from multiple database tables. SAP ABAP supports both inner join and outer join. Okay, we have 2 types of joins in a normal joins concept, not only in ABAP, even in MySQL, Oracle, there are also joins concept. All database queries, wherever we are performing other technologies, also MySQL, database, database, there are a number of databases, right? In all the databases like MaxDB, Sybase, Oracle, MySQL, PostgreSQL. Okay. To read the data from multiple tables, we are performing this native SQL statements. There this join concept is there. So this is a syntax for the joins concept to read data from multiple tables. So as per performance standards, select will joins for more than 3 tables is not advisable. Okay, as it puts load on heavy load on the database, because when we are reading data from 3 tables by comparing multiple fields, it provides the load on the database. In the views level, you saw that joins concept. Now, when we select 2 combination tables, in next step, automatically the common fields are auto-populated. In views level, we saw the database view, maintenance view, we saw that option, joins option, but that we did in the foreground level, screen level. We didn't write any select queries. Code is generated the select queries. Here we're supposed to write select queries. If you see here, I'll make the screen big. Okay, so we have 2 tables here, table A and table B. Okay, so in table A we have field 1 and 2, table B we have field 3 and 4. When we compare this, table A field 1, table B field 3, both are same. Okay, these fields will be or same. So if you want, now we wanted to combine these 2 tables. Okay, so when we use inner join, what will happen? We have inner join, outer join. Now what will happen in inner join? So what are the common fields? Suppose A and B is available here also. So it will read only common fields data. I mean, it combines the same fields, but whatever the data is available in both tables for that primary key values, only those complete records will fetch in inner joins. When it comes to outer join, see C is available in table A, but it's not in table B, but still it will read the data in outer join. Now this is left outer join, because left table we are considering. Suppose this C is not there in table A, but if it is there in B, then we need to use right outer join. Next, before to outer join, we have to add left or right. That will become a left outer join, right outer join. So this case, C is available in left side, so it's a left outer join. Suppose if C value is there in table B, then we have to use right outer join. So whatever the possible values there in table A, and whatever is available in table B for those values, automatically it will fetch. But SAP in SAP outer joins are not preferable in many cases, because clients are expecting always complete information for all the fields. Suppose we are displaying 12 fields, 13 fields in the report. Client expected to display all the fields data for complete record. See, in the outer join, here field 4 is empty because that is not there in table B. C is from table A, field 2 is from table A only, field 4 from table B. Why we don't need field 3? Because it's a common field 1 and field 3. So field 4 is empty because that C data is not there in outer join. When it comes to inner join, A, B is complete statements, complete record here, code wise, tables wise. When we compare data complete record, it will fetch and it will display on the screen. Now we'll see how those are working through programmatically. Select with joins. So I'll take example as Mara and MAKT table. Okay, first I'll show the tables. What are those tables? Mara is a material master table. Okay, so it's a general material master table, which is having the materials created on when it is created, or reference material, old material, material type, index sector, material group, material status, name of the person who created. Those information are there. If you go to this MAKT table, which is the material description in multiple languages. We have a language key here. We can see English, Spanish, German, French. Okay, multiple languages. We can see material description. We can see it. Okay. Now I'm going to combine these two tables. Okay, and we'll display the final output. So this is the syntax we're supposed to follow here. Okay. See, select table 1 fields, table 2 fields, into table, from table 1, inner join of table 2 on the common fields we have to write. And where, if you want to write where condition, we can also write the where condition. Okay. I'm just creating here a structure types, because when we are combining two tables, structure should be customized. Matner, type, Mara, MATNR, MTRT, type, Mara, MTRT, MEINS, type, Mara, MEINS. 3 fields I'm reading from first table and 2 fields from second table. SPRAS, which is a language. MAKT, this is from MAKT table. SPRAS. MAKT is a description of material. Okay, I'm just closing the structure. We discussed the structure concept, right? Right? Hello? Have we discussed structure concept?
Yeah, Kishore.
Type table of TY material, work area material, type TY. We are creating internal level work area with a reference of structure. So in selection screen, we can write material type on. Okay, and then we have to write start of selection. Okay, select query, select. From first table, how many fields we are reading? 3 fields. So we have to write tables, Mara. We have to use negotiation, MATNR, Mara negotiation, not the hyphen, we have to use negotiation. We are addressing that particular field from the table. Negotiation, MEINS. Next, second table, table 2. RAS, MAKT negotiation, MAKTX. Into table, IT material, that is the internal table. Okay. And from 2 tables we are reading Mara, inner join of MAKT, on also we should write. We can write next line. On Mara negotiation of MATNR equals to second table MAKT negotiation MATNR. So MATNR is a common field in both tables, where MTRT is the first field, material type, equals to P underscore MTRT. Okay. IT material, which is an internal table, is not initial. Is not initial means if there is a data, we want to display loop at IT material into work area material, right? Work area material hyphen MATNR. MTRT MINS SPRAS make it X else data is not found. E means error message. Always type of message should be caps letter E or I. Information message means I. Should write in caps letters always message types. Okay, here MAT or not. So it is MEINS. Okay, no errors now. Did you saw that error? Now see, I'm writing. This is wrong field. If I click on checkbox, check. Are you able to see this? No component exit with the name MESNS.
Yeah.
So we can easily understand if that component, in which line it is showing, line number 30 it is showing. You can see the row number 30 here. So we can easily understand that.
You should use that symbol, right, instead of hyphen.
It is a negotiation symbol.
Okay.
Okay, that is referring the table. And now if I execute, we select FERT. If I execute, it reads the data from both tables, whatever it's satisfied for FERT. I can see here. This are all the entries are satisfied. If you see here, 88 is keep on coming. Why this many times it is coming? Because in language, if you see here, we have different languages. In first table, this is common. When it comes to second table, we have multiple languages. So condition, it's an inner join only, but however, when it comes to table 2, we are considering as the union in between these two tables. If you are aware of union, when we use some mathematical calculations, union means it should be satisfied in both tables. So 88 FERT PC is common in first table. When it comes to second table, we have multiple entries for the materials because of languages. So that is why this number, material number is duplicated here. Okay. Suppose if you wanted to even fetch exact entry in both tables, we don't want this many duplicates for multiple languages. We can write one more additional condition, which is language. Okay, so we can write here and SPRAS equals to SCI language. Here SCI language means it's a system language. So I log in English language. Okay, so if this entry is satisfied, then it will come. If I execute for FERT, now every entry will be unique. You see here 88 after 89, we don't have any duplicates. Okay, in 88 only in English only I selected, right? In the select query we added SCI language also as a condition. SCI language means system language. I log in English. So English satisfied entry only we want. Otherwise, we don't want remaining entries. Again, 89. All these materials we can see everywhere we have English on. And FERT. These two are the conditions, right? FERT is one condition, which is a selection screen here. FERT. And in code level, SCI language is a hard-coded value. If you wanted to make this also as a selection screen, we can make it. P underscore SPRAS type MAKT SPRAS. This also we can put it in the foreground, and we need to replace this with parameter SPRAS. Okay. Just activate and then execute. Okay. Material type is finished product. Language, we can select. Okay, so here you can select English language. You can see EN is a English language. With the both combination, we are displaying the entries. Here, everywhere you should be FERT. If you scroll down of these entries, 4,370 entries. But we will not get those many entries. We might get less entries. How to check those? How many entries we have? Here, counting is very difficult. Okay. So in internal table operations, we have one logic called describe table. Okay, describe table IT material type, lines, LV count. We have to declare this LV count. LV count type integer. Okay. So this LV count will be displayed as a heading, right? Number of entries, LV count. Okay. Click on check, activate. Then execute. So every time I'm selecting this value set, instead of filling this every time, you can save it as a variant. Okay, I'm just writing as a generalized Kishore test variant. Okay, click on save. So you can see one variant is added here. So when you execute next time, you don't need to fill these two values. See, I'm going back and again executing. You can select these two values from the variant. Okay, you can create number of variants. Once you selected, those values will be combination of values will be auto-populated. Now see how many entries we have here, 4,353. But in Mara table, how many entries it was satisfied? 4,370 entries. Here 17 entries is missed. Why those 17 entries are not coming here? Any guess from anyone? Hello? If you want, I'll show here. How many entries we have in the Mara table here for the FERT? This is a FERT condition. You can see all are FERT. 4,370. But when it comes to here, we have 4,353. We have 17 entries difference. Where these 17 entries are gone? Any guess? See here, FERT, when we consider that is from only from Mara master table. But here we are combining with MAKT. When we are combining with MAKT, we have more filters. We have English language also. So English also should be satisfied. FERT also should be satisfied because of inner join. So complete entry should be there in both tables. Then only it will display. So for those 17 entries, we don't have English translation here, English description for the material. So that is the way those materials are not displaying. Understood?
Yeah, Kishore.
Okay, because we are filtering with English language. For those 17 materials which are not displayed here, for those there is no English. There could be other language, other translation also. If you go here, German translation now, DE, will not get 4,353. Again, it will be changed the numbers. You can see 2,745. because all the materials, 8080 is not coming. For 8080, there is no German translation, German description. Okay. If you go with different language, you will get either less or more. It depends on the data. Okay. So I'll go to the next one. Is it visible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So just to overcome this inner joins is not preferable, right? Here more than 3 tables. But few cases, few scenarios, we supposed to work on the requirement, which is a combination of 10 tables or 12 tables. But output will be just 12 fields, 13 fields only. Every field we have to fetch from one individual tables. That it's a complex requirement. In those terms, we can't use inner joins, keep on combining multiple tables. So to overcome that, we have this select for all entries option, which is the just overcome of select joins. So it is the best alternative for select with joins. So this statement is very helpful for any data from more than 2 tables. So this load on database is very less when we compare with inner joins. And we should be ensure that when we are writing select for all entries, we have to consider these 2 points. Parent internal table must not be empty. So these are all 2 tables we are considering. Parent internal table means first internal table should not be empty. If that is empty, second table, it will be considered all entries because we are passing the first internal table fields here. I'll show in the code level. If it is empty, where condition fails, and it will get all records from second database. We should remove duplicate entries in parent internal table. That is the one more logic we have to maintain. Okay, I'll write for this the same combination R and MAKT. This is the logic. Now I'll use the same program and we'll convert it to for all entries. Okay. So this final structure anyway it is there. Now we need to create individual structure because we are writing select queries individually. Pattern from Mara table. We want to select the C fields MATNR, MTRT, MEINS. This should become one structure. Okay. Types. And for second table, we need one more structure, which is MAKT. Here I'm selecting MATNR, SPRS, MAKTX. We also types. Okay. Now what we're going to do, selection screen will be same. And select queries will not be in this format. Okay. We have to read data from first table first. Select MATNR, MTRT, MEINS from Mara into table ID. Mara. We have to declare all this. IT Mara type table of TY Mara. IT MAKT type table of TY MAKT. Okay. Work areas also we have to create. Work area Mara type TY Mara. Work area MAKT type TY MAKT. Okay. Into table IT Mara where MTRT that we should write. That is from first table equals to P underscore MTRT. Okay. So this is the first internal table. It should not be empty. How to validate that whether it is empty or not? If ATMR is not initial. Is not initial means if there is a data. Is initial means if there is no data. That is the logic of, that is a functionality of this keyword. Is not initial means if there is a data, and we have to validate select query also, and size subASCII should be equals to 0. If both conditions are satisfied, we will read data from select second table. What is second table? MAKT. Select MATNR and SPRS MAKTX. From MAKT table into table IT MAKT, where SPRS equals to P underscore SPRS. We should have that language functionality. This is normal select queries which we already wrote in previous sessions. But additionally, what we are doing, since the first table is done and second table also, second select query also we are writing. Additionally, we have to write for all entries here. For all entries in ITMR. What is the meaning of for all entries in normal English terminology? I'm asking. What you can understand from here? All entries means
All the entries in the table.
so. This is ITMR, which is the first table. For all entries, or basically in means inside of this internal table, what are the entries are there? All entries, and for this table, okay, you can understand easily. For all entries in this table, we are considering, and in the condition we are passing one more, MATNR equals to IT underscore Mara hyphen MATNR and SPRS. So what are the materials there in the first internal table? You can see IT Mara is the first internal table. First, we are reading some data from first internal table. Here it will store 100 materials, or 4,370 materials will get. So we are passing all 4,370 materials, and language will be English language. So now comparing with these two conditions, it will read the data and it will store in ITMAK. Save, check. PYMAKT, here it is. You see here the type PYMAK here is unknown, but there is a following type with PYMAKT. This is also reference easily. Okay. So we are reading data in IT Mara and MAKT, but we are supposed to comment. Okay. So inner joins, it's easily, so we directly push into the final internal table. But when it comes to for all entries, data will not come into ITM material. We have to push the data into this material. So for that, we are using parallel cursor technique. Parallel cursor. Okay. How we are writing this? We have to write loop at IT Mara into work area Mara. We are using all internal table operations here. I think if you're not practicing that, it will be difficult to understand. But it's just very basic code. So we are looping first internal table, and inside what we are doing, we are using read table for second internal table, ITMAKT. What is the use of read table? Read the data from an internal table. MATNR equals to area Mara hyphen MATNR. Okay. So while looping, what will happen? The one material will come to work area. Okay, this we already discussed. What is a loop pattern? So suppose we have 3,000 materials here. First material will come to here. So that material I'm passing to the second internal table here. We are reading the data. Okay. So while reading the data, if there is a material is there in both tables, so we are passing this material. If the material is there in this table also, that condition is satisfied. Again, that particular line will push to our KMAK. Okay. So we are using one additional syntax here, which is binary search. What is the meaning of by? What is the meaning of binary or by? What is the meaning of that? Have you heard about by?
Dividing into two
Parts. Yes. So what we are doing when we are searching this material with this, when we are searching material data with this material into from ITMAKT, we are searching is using binary search algorithm. In programming language, if you are aware of C language, if you are aware of C language, there is a data structures concept. There is a linear search, binary search. No. However, I'll tell you what is a binary search. Suppose you have 2000 entries, roll number 1 to 2000. Example, student data, roll number 1 to 2000. Okay. So I wanted to read student number 921 or 999. Example, 999 is a student number which I supposed to read. When you use as linear search, which is a basic algorithm, if you are not using linear search also, what will happen? It will start comparing. Suppose I have roll input is 999. What it will do, it will compare the table. First, it will compare the first entry. What is the first value? 1. It is failed. Then it will check second. Second one is failed. Third, fourth, fifth, everything is failed until 999. Because our value is 999, but we are comparing each and every entry from database. So how many times we have to check the condition? We have to check the condition 999 times. Because our entry is 999 and in table we have 1 to 2000 entries are there. But when if you use binary search, what will happen? 1 to 2000 we have. In the first step, it will do the divide. It will divide it as a 2 parts. 1 to 1000, 1000 to 2000. Okay. So after that, it will compare the data. Now triple line is comes under first part or second part. It comes under first part. So it will remove all 1000 to 2000 entries. It will remove it under the condition. So in the first step only, it is keeping 1000 values, 1000 entries. And next step again, it will do the binary search. So 1 to 500, 500 to 1000. That is 2 parts, right? In 1 to 1000. Now again, it will check. Triple line comes under 1 to 500 or 500 to 1000. Now again, 1 to 500 will skip because it's not part of that entries. So now how many entries we skip in 2 steps? 50 entries we skip. Understood, guys? How this binary search will do? Again, 500 to 1000 is there. So again, it will split as 2 parts. 500 to 750, 750 to 1000. Again, triple line it will compare. It is part of first part or second part. It is second part. Again, 250 will go on. In 3 steps, it ignores 1750 entries. But if you go with linear search, in first entry, first step, second step, it will compare each and every entry. But suppose I want for 999 steps, we need to do to identify the entry, whether it is there or not in database. If you want to read 999 entry. But if you go with binary search, it will complete in 20 to 25 steps maximum. For this particular scenario, I'm telling. Okay. So this is very fast compared to the linear search. That is why we are using to search the entry from database. Okay. If size abasi we are writing. What is size abasi, guys? What is the size abasi? Well, I just explained in the top line number 55. I explained. So it will check whether the previous statement is success or fail. Okay. So we are searching the entry, right? If there is an entry, then size abasi will become okay. I'm just creating one variable called LV index, and here I'm just capturing site average. So site average will return the loop number or table line number. Okay. When we do the binary search, data will transfer to internal table to work area, right? Suppose the entry is there in 300 line, so the 300 number will be captured here. So that I am storing in some variable. LV index we need to declare. Okay, I declare that LV index. So now what I'm doing after this, again, looping second table, loop at ITMAKT into work area MAKT. Okay, after reading this 300 line number, I'm looping second table from this LV index. That particular line number I'm looping, okay? I'm not looping all the entries. Only the 300 line I'm doing a loop. After loop, again entry will come to work area MAKT. Now inside I'm doing if work area Mara MATN not equals to work area MAKT. First I identify this line number. I store the line number here. For the same line number, again I read the data. So will come material in this table, work area MAKT from second table. Second table material and first table material. Both are same or not, I'm just checking. If both are same, we need to append. Okay. Otherwise, I can see it. If both are not equal to, then we should be exit from the loop. Otherwise, we have to append the data. If both are success, then we have to append the data. Append to work area material. Work area material. Okay. Items. Okay, first one is MATNR. It's better to copy from MATNR from work area Mara hyphen MATNR. From where this value is live, from this work area Mara. Okay. Because we're in the same loop, right? This is a main loop. So this work is inactive in runtime. Okay. We're using that work area only, MTRT. Here we're using work area Mara MEINS. Work area, we should use MAKT. This is from second table. So that is live, that is that value read from this work area. Okay. MAKTX. So we fill this work area and we need to append this data to internal work area material to IT material. Fill work area material. So this way we are filtering the data. This way IT Mara, IT MAKT we are comparing and finally we append it to internal tables. The same internal table we are identifying how many entries we have. And finally, we are displaying those materials with combination of 5 fields. Now we'll see this time how many materials will get. So with the same variant, I'm selecting because I copied the variant when the report is copied. You can see 4,353. Is there any difference between previous report entry and this report entry for the same variant? Hello? Any difference you found? Select
No,
with,
no, teacher.
select with joins only I'm executing. You can see 4,353. This is not a with joins. Heading we have to change because we copied from the report. This is select with for all entries. So whatever we provide, that will come in this position. Okay, this is the title of the report. Just activate. For the same variant, we are getting same count. So inner joins for all entries also same, but the difference is if you now we are using same 2 tables only in the both cases. Okay, in this case, joins is fine. If you are using 10 tables, 15 tables, then we need to use for all entries. Okay. With that, I'm closing the session. We have few more select queries also. We'll see you next session.